Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Breaking news. Dispatch Asia confirms Janya and Kao are officially dating. A love story that has captivated the world. Seoul, Bangkok. 1 minute ago. The entertainment world is holding its breath. In a revelation that has shaken both industries and hearts across Asia, Dispatch Asia has officially confirmed that Thailand's beloved stars, Janya and Kao, are in a relationship. The news dropped just moments ago, and within seconds, the digital world erupted into a storm of emotion, disbelief, and celebration. For months, whispers had circulated. Glimpses of shared moments, parallel schedules, matching accessories, all quietly fueling the question that fans around the world had dared to ask. Could Janya and Kao be more than co-stars? Today, that question has been answered. According to Dispatch Asia's exclusive report, which went live at 8:01 p.m. Bangkok time, the pair have been seeing each other privately for several months. The outlet revealed a detailed timeline supported by photos, travelogues, and eyewitness accounts, all painting the picture of a romance that began quietly but grew steadily, anchored in genuine affection and trust. The reveal that stopped the internet. The moment Dispatch Asia's article went live, social media platforms exploded. Within 10 minutes, hashtags like #JanyaKao confirmed, #LoveDesignCouple, and #DispatchRevealed climbed to the top of trending lists in Thailand, South Korea, and the Philippines. Twitter servers momentarily slowed from the surge of engagement. Instagram was flooded with fan edits, heart emojis, and captions like, "Finally." And we always knew it. This isn't just a dating announcement. It's a cultural moment, the intersection of art, fame, and emotion that has made Janya and Kao two of the most talked about names in Asia's entertainment landscape. The perfect pair. Both actors rose to stardom through different paths, but their journeys converged spectacularly on the set of Love Design, the 2024 romantic drama that took Asia by storm. In the film, Janya portrayed Rin, a visionary interior designer haunted by her past, while Kao played Tion, the spontaneous architect who teaches her to rediscover love. Their on-screen chemistry was electric. Tender, organic, impossible to fake. Critics hailed their performance as a masterclass in intimacy. Viewers began to wonder, could that connection be real? Behind the scenes, rumors began to grow. Cast members hinted at an unusual closeness between the two, and fans spotted the pair leaving wrap-up events together long after cameras stopped rolling. Yet both stars remained tight-lipped, their agencies maintaining a disciplined silence. Until now. Dispatch Asia's exclusive investigation. According to the report, Dispatch Asia had been tracking the pair for weeks, tracing overlapping schedules, discreet meetups, and late-night rendezvous in Bangkok. Sources claim that Janya and Kao were often seen meeting at a quiet art cafe near the Chao Phraya River, a place known for its privacy and scenic charm. Other sightings include shared flights, weekend getaways with close friends, and a string of private dinners at boutique hotels in Chiang Mai. One particular photograph, now circulating globally, shows the pair walking side by side under an umbrella after a charity gala. No words, no poses, just a shared look that says everything. Sometimes the simplest image tells the deepest story, Dispatch Asia wrote in its reveal. Their connection wasn't about spectacle. It was about sincerity. Fans react. Joy, tears, and unbelievable excitement. Within minutes, fandom communities mobilized. On TikTok, videos celebrating the couple amassed millions of views in under an hour. Fan accounts from Korea, Japan, and Indonesia translated the Dispatch article into multiple languages. One fan wrote, "We watched them fall in Love Design, and now we know it wasn't just acting. This feels like a fairy tale that leapt off the screen." Others posted emotional threads, recalling moments from press conferences, interviews, and behind-the-scenes clips that, in hindsight, seemed to reveal subtle affection. The lingering glance, the quiet smile, the protective gesture. By midnight, over 12 million tweets mentioned the couple's names. Even celebrities joined in, congratulating them and sharing screenshots of their favorite Love Design scenes. Industry reaction. Agencies scramble, brands react. As of press time, neither Janya's nor Kao's management agencies have issued formal statements. A representative from Dreamscape Pictures, the production company behind Love Design, declined to comment but hinted that the truth of their connection has always been evident to those who worked with them. Luxury brands have taken notice too. Marketing analysts predict that the couple's public confirmation will trigger a surge in brand collaborations and endorsements. They're not just a romantic pair, one PR expert said. They're an empire waiting to be built. A love story written in real time. The revelation marks a rare moment in Thai entertainment. A relationship born from collaboration, mutual respect, and undeniable chemistry. In an industry where public romances are often hidden, Janya and Kao's story feels refreshingly real. Fans describe it as the love story Thailand didn't know it needed, and Dispatch Asia's report frames it as a relationship that has quietly endured the pressures of fame, distance, and expectation. In the final paragraph of their exclusive, Dispatch Asia wrote, "They didn't need to make grand declarations. They simply chose to live, honestly, quietly, beautifully. And sometimes that's the loudest way to love." Global impact. Within the first hour of publication, international outlets from Tokyo to Los Angeles picked up the story. Entertainment journalists praised Dispatch Asia's precision and discretion, calling it a masterclass in responsible reporting. Meanwhile, fan accounts reported temporary crashes on social platforms as the world collectively reacted to the revelation. By the end of the day, Janya and Kao had become two of the most searched names on Google globally. A new kind of love story had begun, one not scripted for the screen, but unfolding in real life, one heartbeat at a time. As the initial shock of Dispatch Asia's revelation begins to settle, the fascination only grows deeper. Every new hour brings more light, more whispers, and more awe around the relationship between Janya and Kao, two of Thailand's most magnetic stars whose love story has now transcended both screen and secrecy. Across cities from Seoul to Singapore, digital billboards flash their names side by side, as if the universe itself has joined in celebrating a romance that feels inevitable, and yet almost mythical. Behind closed doors, how it all began. Long before the flashbulbs and the frenzied hashtags, there was the quiet beginning. Insiders close to the film Love Design recall the early days of filming. The long hours on set, the creative tension, the artistic push and pull between two perfectionists who demanded truth in every frame. They were both intense in their craft, said a member of the film's art department. But something changed midway through filming. Suddenly, their scenes didn't feel rehearsed anymore. It was as if they weren't acting, they were living it. What started as collaboration slowly evolved into connection. Between camera setups, they would talk about music, philosophy, and design. On breaks, they shared playlists, traded sketches, and laughed at inside jokes no one else understood. Crew members described them as unspoken magnets, drawn to each other, even when they tried not to be. Sometimes we'd see them rehearsing lines long after everyone else had gone home, one assistant recalled. There was this electricity, not loud but deep. You could feel it in the silence between takes. The film that became a mirror. When Love Design premiered, audiences fell for the story of two designers whose creative battles slowly turn into love. The irony, as the world now knows, is that art had quietly mirrored life. The movie's final scene, where the two characters hold hands as the sun sets behind Bangkok's skyline, has now taken on new meaning. Fans replay that moment endlessly, dissecting every glance, every breath, convinced that the emotion on screen was far too raw to be fiction. In interviews, Janya had once said, "Good acting comes from truth." Kao, sitting beside her, had smiled faintly and added, "And sometimes truth finds you in unexpected ways." At the time, it sounded poetic. Now it sounds prophetic. A love built in silence. According to the Dispatch Asia investigation, their relationship blossomed quietly in the months following the film's wrap-up. While other stars chased headlines, Janya and Kao chose privacy. They exchanged gifts, met in low-profile cafes, and learned the art of loving quietly in an industry that watches everything. Friends say they made a promise early on to protect what was real by keeping it unseen. They understood how fragile the beginning of something real can be, said a source close to them. They didn't want noise. They wanted peace. For a while it worked. Fans saw nothing but professionalism, though some claimed to notice how Kao's eyes always softened when her name was mentioned, or how Janaya's laughter lingered longer in interviews that mentioned love design. The clues everyone missed. Looking back, the signs were everywhere. Subtle, coded, and beautifully ordinary. In one fashion campaign, both wore matching timepieces from the same luxury brand. In another event, their outfits mirrored each other's tones, ivory and slate, as if planned. On social media, eagle-eyed fans spotted that they shared identical song lyrics on their stories within minutes of each other. The song, "You Are My Home." At the time, it was brushed off as coincidence. Today, those same posts are viral proof of something tender that was hiding in plain sight. The night everything changed. Dispatch Asia's report mentions one particular evening that sealed the truth: a charity gala in Bangkok late August. Both stars attended separately. But as the night ended, cameras caught them walking together under a soft drizzle, sharing an umbrella as they disappeared into a waiting car. It was a quiet image. Elegant, unplanned, real. And it was the moment that ignited the investigation. Behind the scenes, the outlet began gathering corroboration. Overlapping travel schedules, witnesses from boutique hotels, even security logs from filming locations that aligned their movements for weeks. By the time the story was ready, the evidence was undeniable. They didn't need scandal, a senior reporter said. They had sincerity. And that's rarer than anything else in our business. The aftermath of truth. Once Dispatch Asia's story went live, the world responded with a rare kind of joy. There was no outrage, no betrayal, just collective awe. Fans across the globe spoke not of shock, but of destiny. You can tell when something is real, one viral tweet read. The world stops for it. This was one of those moments. Within hours, luxury brands and media outlets began to shift their tone. Commentators praised the couple for maintaining dignity and grace in a notoriously invasive industry. Thai cultural critics even lauded the relationship as a positive example of authenticity in celebrity life. A reminder that fame and privacy don't have to be enemies. Even seasoned journalists admitted the story felt different. There was no scandal, no denial, no broken trust, only revelation. Inside the quiet hours after the storm, as the headlines multiplied, both Janya and Cao reportedly retreated from public view. Friends close to them say they spent the evening at home, surrounded by a few confidants, reading the articles that the world couldn't stop sharing. One insider described the scene simply. They were quiet, hand in hand. There was no panic, just peace. It was as if they'd been waiting for the world to finally see what they already knew. Their agencies, though silent, are said to be coordinating statements that focus on respect and mutual support. Early reports suggest that neither intends to deny nor sensationalize the revelation. Instead, both plan to continue their upcoming projects, separately and together, with professionalism. The unfolding of a modern fairy tale. In a time when celebrity romances often dissolve under public pressure, the story of Janya and Cao feels different. Built not on spectacle, but on substance. Analysts predict that the couple's transparency will redefine how Thai entertainment handles public relationships. Already, journalists are calling it the most graceful confirmation in recent memory. What began as a rumor has now become a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of how love, no matter how carefully hidden, always finds a way to be seen. As Dispatch Asia's closing line said, they didn't announce it. The world simply caught them being real. And perhaps that's the essence of why this story resonates so deeply. It reminds us that beyond fame, beyond cameras, there are still love stories pure enough to quiet even the loudest world.